Good morning. Welcome to Francis Bacon and Eggs. Today I'm going to be reading a short section on adversity and probably making some eggs. I haven't really decided what kind of eggs I like, but looking at my clean pan now, I think I'm just going to do sunny side up. They're very easy, it looks great, and then I'll be able to eat them. So before I start, this is a short chapter. So I'm going to prepare some eggs. I cleaned my cast iron last night. I don't do it every night. Added some oil to make sure that the cracks don't get water in them. I apologize if the sound quality is a bit off and there's an echo in the room. I'm not going to pad my kitchen, and I don't have a good microphone that attaches to my camera. But I am working on this problem due to riotous demand. So you want this on medium heat. I'm going to put a bit more. I don't want olive oil. I'm going to cook these eggs in butter. Is it ridiculous to be wearing a full brown coat with no shoes? Yes. Yes, it is. Put the rest of my old butter in there. Let that heat up. Throw this away. And I'm just going to wait a bit for this to soften. Essay number 5, of adversity, 1625. It was a high speech of Seneca, after the manner of the Stoics, that the good things which belong to prosperity are to be wished, but the good things that belong to adversity are to be admired. Bona rerum secundarum optabilia, adversarum mirabilia. Certainly, if miracles be the command over nature, they appear most in adversity. It is yet a higher speech of his than the other, much too high for a heathen. It is true greatness to have in one the frailty of man and the security of a god. Ver magnum habere fragilitatem, hominis securitatem Dei. This would have done better in poesy, where transcendences are more allowed, and the poets indeed have been busy with it. For it is in effect the thing which is figured in that strange fiction of the ancient poets, which seemeth not to be without mystery, nay, and to have some approach to the state of a Christian. Quote, that Hercules, when he went to unbind Prometheus, unquote, by whom human nature is represented, quote, sailed the length of the great ocean in an earthen pot or pitcher. Lyly describing Christian resolution that saileth in the frail bark of the flesh thorough, the waves of the world. Must be. Oh no, flesh thorough. The flesh thorough. What a wonderful phrase. I really like that phrase. I have no idea what it means. I'm actually going to break with my tradition and read the footnote that was there and see what that says. This butter's mostly melted, which is good. The thing about cooking is that you don't actually wait for adversity. You wait for all the things to line up correctly according to your plans, and then you enact them. Had it happened that the butter had boiled off, or turned sentient and started railing against me and asking for the keys to the car, I would have had a very difficult day. But as it is, the butter just melted, and now I can make eggs. My metaphors are not always good, but neither are Francis Bacon's. Just gonna have 2 eggs this morning. I'm not really in the mood for a massive breakfast today. Quite tired. Oh, I'm tired. I'm going to pour myself some coffee. As you may have gathered at this point, I don't actually watch many cooking shows. They're fun, but I kind of view them like porn, because it's just delicious in front of me and I can't have any of it. So, I'm doing all this from the memory of watching my father watch cooking shows when I was 16. And if I add in Francis Bacon, well, my memory's never been very good. I now have some coffee. Let's look at that footnote for the flesh thorough. The same word is through. The flesh through. That also doesn't make sense. But to speak in a mean, the virtue of prosperity is temperance. The virtue of adversity is fortitude, which in morals is the most heroical virtue. Prosperity is the blessing of the Old Testament. Adversity is the blessing of the New, which carrieth the greater benediction and the clearer revelation of God's favor. Yet even in the Old Testament, if you listen to David's harp, you shall hear as many hearse-like airs as carols. Hearse-like. We should use this more. There's a note there too. Hearse-like, solemn, mournful, funereal. And the pencil of the Holy Ghost hath labored more in describing the afflictions of Job than the felicities of Solomon. Prosperity is not without many fears and distastes, and adversity is not without comforts and hopes. We see in needleworks and embroideries, it is more pleasing to have a lively work upon a sad and solemn ground, than to have a dark and melancholy work upon a lightsome ground. Judge therefore of the pleasure of the heart by the pleasure of the eye. That reminds me of Bob Ross. Gotta have a little dark, to have some light. I'm waiting on the good times now. I miss Bob Ross. Certainly virtue is like precious odors, most fragrant when they are incensed or crushed. For prosperity doth best discover vice, but adversity doth best discover virtue. It's the end of the essay. My eggs are almost done. Let's go with the analysis. 1. Heathens have spoken nobly of adversity, Seneca and the Fable of Prometheus. I don't really think Prometheus was about adversity, but good try, Francis. 2. The blessing of adversity. It engenders fortitude. It is especially the blessing of the New Testament, though not mentioned in the Old. Not unmentioned in the Old, rather. Its comforts appear all the brighter for it, and it fosters virtue. Well, that was the most benign conversation about adversity I've ever read. But I will persevere through this hardship of Francis Bacon's incredibly dry and just dry writing style. And I'm excited about that. My eggs look almost done. I'm gonna put these eggs away, set these up on a plate, and eat them. You have a good day.